We're different.
2, 1.
All right. Trip Digital Radio Sound, Art Expression, Catherine, and we have NK Ride and DJ Boo in the house.
What up?
We have Ashley, we have Dave. You know those guys. They're behind the scenes. But we're going to bring in our special guest today.
Is that me?
Hey.
What up, everyone?
Let's give it up for William Bolt, the songwriter, producer, and he's from Michigan.
I am.
Nice to have
Midwest.
you in the house.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks you. So we were in the lobby of the Dream Hotel, and
Yes.
I overheard your whole life story.
Did you hear that I used to sneak into the highlight room from the lobby of the Dream Hotel?
Oh, shut up.
No, I didn't hear
Maybe
that.
I shouldn't say that. What do we? My publicist is looking at me. Like,
He was just giving his story away, and I'm like, wow, this guy's interesting. I want to
Wow.
interview him someday.
wow. Well, here's your chance.
Someday
Once in a
happen.
lifetime.
Wow. He answered. So we got questions. So
Great.
I know the audience don't know and the listeners don't know. Where are you from?
Yeah. So I'm William Bolton. From Detroit, Michigan,
Okay.
and now I live in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And yeah, that's my hometown. I'm from Motown.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you see the Motown Museum? Were
Oh,
you,
of course.
were you
The
involved with
museum is like unreal. It's such a
Wow.
unique experience and just like so much history and like a couple
Yeah.
rooms. Yeah.
So who's your favorite writer from the Motown team?
I mean, honestly, as far as like singers and stuff, like the Supremes
Yes.
and Marvin Gaye and the Temptations and Martha and the Vandellas, like
Yes.
all that music. I mean, I just like soaked it up growing up. It was in the movies and it's just
Yeah.
like it's everywhere there. You know, it's just like in the culture. So
Yeah.
growing up, that was like, and still today, I'd say, you know, some of my favorite music ever.
So were your parents like into the Motor City, the cars, the
It was just like the music and the Motor City. It was just like there. Like it's just
Yeah.
when you grow up in a city,
It's part
just
of it.
it's just there. Like there's classic car festivals like right
Yeah.
down my street and like all this different stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
That's what's up. That's
Yeah.
what's up. Did you get into the electronic scene because they have a huge underground
there is like trance and like
and-
I would know. I
and-
actually I
yeah.
haven't dug into the Detroit electronic scene, but
Good,
I'm
good.
interested too.
I said good because they have real songwriters there, man. I mean, it was about the culture of Motown.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it just went deep and dark after then.
So how
Yeah.
long have you been in
Yeah.
Los Angeles from Detroit?
I've been in LA for like 2.5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, not long.
What was it like growing up in Detroit? Besides like the whole like history, the musical
Yeah.
history we know about it. I want to hear more about like the roots of Detroit. Like what's it like?
Yeah, well, I grew up in a suburb called Royal Oak. From like a super young age. I have 2 older brothers. From a super young age, my family was just like hard work. I think that's like a Midwestern thing,
Yeah.
you know, just like, but my family especially just like really valued hard work. So it was either like work around the house or if like go out and find a job. So my 2 older brothers and I took it upon ourselves to like start like a little hustle, and we had like a landscaping business. And I was in like 2nd grade. One brother was in 4th grade. One was in 6th. And we like passed out flyers all over the neighborhood. Like we'll walk your dog, water your plants, watch your house, like literally
Wow.
You
anything.
guys did everything.
Our school pictures were like everywhere on everyone's
Wow.
doors. And then, yeah, it was just like through high school, I was just like hustling, you know, with my older brothers. And I think, yeah, I got my entrepreneurial spirit from that.
Shovel your snow because the winters are
shovel.
brutal.
That was my least favorite. I hated shoveling snow. Eventually we got like a snow blower when I was like,
Yeah, you like
like-
went on vacation for the winter, huh?
I mean, I know I wish, but I was still doing it. I just didn't
I'm
like
not
it.
doing your snow.
I can say I've traveled all across the US and Europe and the world, but Detroit I have not been to. So
Yeah.
Oh, you should go. It's a cool place. Yeah.
well, yeah, I
A
hear
lot
the
of history.
Midwest is like very quaint and cool,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of history behind that.
I want to know the history of like, why did you guys get the name the lake? Because you got Lake Michigan. It's shared by Ohio. It's
Well, we have
shared by
all the Great
Michigan.
Lakes.
It's
It's the
shared
Great-
by
it's the Great
Chicago.
If you look at a map of America, it's like
Yeah.
here's like Michigan, right? You have your
Yeah.
Michigan, and it's just surrounded. It's completely surrounded by the Great
Yeah.
Lakes.
And that's what they call the Midwest, right?
You should call it like
It surrounds
Lake
the lake.
Ohio or something because Ohio's on the other side.
sorry, Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Idaho got potatoes.
Yeah.
Well,
So based on your surroundings, how did it shape like your creativity and like sense of like, you know, I mean, I'm reading right here that you didn't have a television or a computer in the house.
So yeah, but I didn't like grow up with cable and stuff. Like once in a while at my grandparents' house, like I maybe like caught some cartoons or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, my parents were just like no television. Like, you know, like they were like we have books. Like my mom would go to the library and like bring books home, and I would be playing outside. And then eventually it became like my brother. I mean, I would start to learn instruments when I was 10 years old. I had like this acoustic guitar that around the house, and I was just playing it. My mom saw me like kind of messing around with it, and she's like, "You have to go to a guitar lesson." And next thing you know, I was like, "I don't want to go," and she was like, "No, you have to go." And so I walk in, and it's like this 70s rocker dude with long hair, and he has like this dope electric guitar. And I look at my like dinky acoustic one, and I was like, "Yo, can I play that?" And literally from then, I just like fell in love with the electric guitar, and so that's how I would spend my days.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like playing all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
At
Yeah.
age 10.
Age
That's
10,
amazing.
yeah.
So did you and your brothers form a group, or did they play music? Or?
So yeah, my older brothers did music as well. My oldest brother Jack sings and plays trumpet, and then my middle brother Joseph plays the piano and the drums.
Okay.
And so like we would jam around the house and stuff, but I don't think that they, I guess took it as seriously as I did. I was probably always the most into it.
Yeah.
And then when my older brother Joseph went away for college, he like left behind like Pro Tools, like some of these like, basic recording equipment. And so I found myself when I was like 14, I was like, I have all the like these little tools in I called it the Beat Lab.
Yeah.
And I just started like writing songs and recording them in my basement, and just like showing them to my friends. That's kind of how I started.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like most like parents like give you like your older siblings like leftover clothes. You got the cool tools.
I know, I was very lucky. I was very lucky that I was able to have access to that stuff early. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thanks.
That's awesome. So is there a label involved with your situation, or you're just solely independent?
So right now I'm still completely independent.
Okay.
I've been independent since the beginning. My manager Ellie is sitting in the corner there. I have two fabulous managers, her and Rachel.
Wow, you got two managers?
Yeah, the more the
Nice.
merrier, right? No, but they've been really great, and it's a grind, but
Yeah.
I think when it comes to labels and stuff, it always has to be like the right situation and the right deal, and you didn't come this far to get like a bad record deal, so
Right.
Absolutely. So what would you describe the content that you create right now is? Like what's the
so I mean I call my music electric soul. That's kind of the genre that I've labeled it as. It's a combination of many things. Like it's like Motown and rock and roll, and especially for the new record, disco has been like this enormous influence. And I this year especially, I just like fell in love with the 70s disco music, and like I found myself listening to like the Bee Gees and Sister Sledge. It's like we are family.
High five for knowing that stuff.
No, man.
For
He was
like,
real.
how old are you?
Well, here's the thing: is like there was like this moment where I was like, moving to LA, especially like culture is like so ingrained in everything. Like
Yeah.
you can't get away from like the hit records and the memes and whatever. And so I think in like January and February, I got like so sick of it. I was like, I just don't want to be like bombarded with all this information, and I felt like I couldn't control it. So I deleted social media and like just kind of like took some time to like stop going out, not going to the clubs, and not seeing what was hot right now. I deleted Twitter, all this stuff, and so then I had like some more silence, and then I was able to kind of like pop my head out and like venture off. And then all of a sudden I just like grabbed onto disco, and it just was like, whoa, like this is this amazing
It's great.
cultural movement and music that was just like, I mean, not that far. I mean, it was kind of like the evolution from Motown, really,
Absolutely.
and that's been a huge inspiration. For the
And
new stuff.
disco created house music.
Exactly.
That 4 on the floor beat
It's
appeared
the original dance music, like the
75
original like
on
electronic
the dance
music.
floor
Yeah,
at Studio 54.
exactly, man. I wish I could go.
I remember the back in the days when people used to make fun of disco, and I'm like, no, I'm
never
sorry,
made
my,
fun of disco.
my
Well, I
people
think,
not
yeah.
Even when they
stop
burnt the
moving.
records in Chicago at what was that, Wrigley Field?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta look that up. They
I should,
burnt
yeah.
all the disco records, and then disco died.
I think people just got sick of it. I think like also the thing was it was such a welcoming culture, right? Like in Studio 54, it was like black and white people together and the gay people, and it was just like very welcoming to everybody. And I think that maybe like Middle America was like, whoa, like why?
Well, it was
Yeah,
the
this
death
is
of
too
rock.
much
It
for
was the
us.
death. It was actually the death of rock and roll too. Like
Mhm.
a lot of that. Like you had a great band like Kiss, like just turned disco. They converted to disco,
Mhm.
and then like a lot of other groups, like even Rolling Stones, kind of went in that tangent of like disco.
They were all going to Studio 54.
No, I love disco. I'm just saying, like you're talking about like music from like the 50s, the 60s, that changed and was a revolution of like, just sound that created like this whole new sound. And like grunge did the same thing to disco, and then like 90 it's awesome because like now everything's coming back. Like it's like 2020 now, and like you got all these sounds and sound design. So it's
I
awesome.
say that
like great.
disco died because they didn't have a disco party. I mean,
They
it's
didn't
hard
have
to
enough
play
disco
disco
balls.
and not have a club to do
I know.
disco.
I like.
in.
It makes
So
me.
I
it
would
makes
burn
me
the
like.
records too. It would like be annoying. I'm like, wow, I can't even go out and dance to this.
Well, everything takes like a
Torch.
whole like revolution,
Yeah.
and we get back to like the ball spins,
Yeah.
history repeats itself,
Mhm.
and now it's so interesting with like people and social media. You look at and people are trying to latch on from something in the past that was great, and how that influences us. And you've talked about your influence heavily about disco,
Mhm.
and how does that translate really like into your music and where you're going with what you're doing this year
Yeah.
and leading up to from 2019 to 2020?
Okay, cool. That's a great question. Yeah, I think because like it just started with like a couple songs, right? It just was like I made this song called Teasin', and it was actually just released it last week, and it was like, whoa, it's like I've been listening to all this music, and then like there's a breakthrough of like, whoa, I made a song that sounds like it's like has it has elements of all the things I love from this sound, and then obviously like I'm not the Bee Gees, like I'm not trying to be a 70s group,
Mhm.
so obviously it's gonna have like my modern influence. I'm throwing in like I'm a guitar player, I'm throwing in my guitar solos. Like I have like certain probably like hip hop tendencies with some of my phrasing and stuff. So, and obviously another evolution from disco was like Daft Punk and Justice,
Yes.
and that's like another really revolutionary form of dance music. So
Yes.
New disco.
yeah, exactly, new disco. So
Yeah.
I'm just taking all the parts that I love from that sound, and then just obviously I'm making
So
William Bolton songs.
It really makes sense when you say electric soul, because it's
Yeah.
like you're taking the vibes of like getting the clips of those samples or like of like that disco feel, but you're adding
Exactly.
a modern touch on it, and then you're adding like your new flavor on
Yeah.
top of it. That's awesome. That's great. That's like really
So-
pushing the boundaries and the limits, and like actually capturing like all ages and all it's creating like a family kind of community effect with your song. So
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you vibe with it.
well, yeah, just you explaining and talking about it is like, oh, I get it.
Cool.
It's pretty
Glad.
cool.
I'm glad it makes sense because I thought maybe it was only me.
No, I mean, it starts off that way. But
Yeah.
tell me this, what are you hoping to accomplish this year from your artistry? I know this year is already over, but I mean,
Yeah. Well, every year's already over.
yeah.
But this year, well, I've got a tour that we're planning right now. My managers and I. It's going to be a mini tour in some of my top markets. I've got a big LA show coming up on the 12th of October at the Peppermint Club.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I mean, I'm just ready to like get on the road and start playing a few shows again. And
Yeah.
also my album, called Electric Soul. So finally, I've created this sound, and now that's what the album is called as well. I'm getting the album out. Should be like sometime in November.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm like, just like really ready to. It's been honestly like a new beginning for me. Like I think I moved to LA, and my sound has gone through many changes, but now it feels like I have a real grasp on like. Now that I've taken a step back from everything else, I've gotten a real grasp of who I am and what I want to put out there. And yeah, I'm just like, I want to put this album out and make it, show it to the world. I want it to be as big
Yeah.
as possible.
So you got some television and film placements, huh?
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about those.
Sure.
Were you excited? I mean, what shows were those?
Heck yeah.
Any shows that we know?
You guys, there's like this little show you guys, I don't know if you heard of it. It's called like Law and Order.
Let me check.
No, I'm just playing, but
Yeah.
that one
What?
that one was crazy. I just have like a small team. It's like saying, like I said, I'm so indie DIY. I have like a small team that does like all their independent acts as well, and they're always pitching my music. And once in a while, I'll just get like an email like, "Hey, Law and Order wants to use Serendipity for the season finale of season 24 or something." And I'm like, oh my, like, I'm just like so honored to be part of that. I'm like, I can't even believe it. But,
Yeah.
it's so cool. Yeah. Because then I'm like watching the clip and I'm like, that's my song. So, and then obviously like other people know it too. So like I have like family members hitting me up and friends, and they're like,
Yeah.
yo, I literally watched this episode last night. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
So Law and Order was a big one for me. I don't know. There's a show called Grownish that I recently had a song on.
Yeah.
Been on a few episodes of like Teen Mom.
Yep.
Let's see. Actually, I can't talk about I was gonna say the upcoming one, but
Yeah.
we have to wait till it's cleared.
Keep it under wraps.
No, but yeah, man. So TV, that stuff has been really, really
Yeah.
fun, and it's just cool to.
I mean, television and film is like the new radio for music. now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would agree. Yeah.
it's a wide audience too.
Yeah.
What's
awesome.
next? Who do you hope to dream to work with?
As far as like I'm on music with.
Yeah, on music with or on like a show, or like,
Yeah.
what are your current aspirations? Like what is that like?
Yeah.
Top?
Well, Pharrell Williams is like one of my all time. I guess I focused a lot on Motown, but I also have modern influences like Pharrell and Kanye, all these people. But Pharrell is like my idol and like my dream producer to work with. So he's someone like that's like a major goal of mine.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I mean, to any like Euphoria is like I love that show. It's like a super hot show right now. If I could get a song on there, it would be like super tight.
Managers, hear that?
But really, I like my main goal. I just want to get my music to as many people as possible, and I think that like the whole Motown and disco thing, like part of what's like so cool about that music is like you play it at a wedding and everyone dances. Like literally the babies, the grandmas, and everyone in between, the young people, the mid-age people. It's like when that song comes on, it's like everyone dances. And I think that that's what was so special about that music in some ways is that it was like, but it's not like in a corny way. It's just like people really just connect with it on a deep level. So
authentic.
Yeah, I want to, my goal is to make music like that and to get it to as many people as possible.
So tell me this. I mean, being from Detroit, are you a fan of Mayor Hawthorne?
Wow, yeah, I am actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, actually,
Okay.
I know Mayor. I've opened up for him before, and
Yes.
I see him around.
I was going to say that, man, because Mayor, we go way back. He started off as a DJ.
That's crazy.
He was doing his DJ thing,
Yeah.
and he worked with Dilla and all those guys, DJ House Shoes and all those guys.
Yeah.
And then he said, I'm going to start singing. And he came out with this high-pitched voice. We really didn't get it, but we started listening to Motown stuff. It's like, oh, Roots, got it.
No, it's so funny you bring it up because in high school, I found his record. My friend introduced me to his music. I was like, oh, this is like really dope. He's kind of like bringing back soul music in a really cool way. And then it was just like kind of a full circle moment. I ended up like, meeting up with his management team when I first moved out to LA. And then they invited me to open up for him because I went to Boston College. And I think it was right after I graduated, like I opened up for him and I was like, I met him. I was like, oh, this is like cool. Like I used to listen to your record.
Connection,
and now I'm like, performing in front of you. So that was definitely an honor.
That's awesome.
What a 180.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a dude. He signed to, I think he's still with Peanut Butter Wolf over at Stone's Throw.
Yeah, with
Tuxedo Records. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of cool stuff. And one of the producers I work with, Sam Wish, tours with him. Okay. And so actually, through Mayor's Camp, actually, I met Sam and he produced one of my new records, Keep Me Waiting. And he does all the Tuxedo stuff too. So that's why I love LA because it's like so interconnected. Like one meeting like will bring you into like making a whole new song and whatever.
That's awesome.
So we really like to talk about secrets on the show.
Oh,
so like you got fans and everything, and we want to know that one thing that your fans do not know about you. So share maybe one or two or three.
Wow.
What am I? Peanut butter and jelly at 9 o'clock at night. I don't know. What is it?
Yeah. Give it up.
Okay. I mean, man, this is okay. So I mean, I can't think of anything like too crazy right now. But one thing that I've been doing is I have these things called gratitude swims. It's like this new thing I've been on, and I don't know. It's not like I just invented it, but I have like there's like a nice swimming pool at the apartment I live in, and I'll go for a run probably like 4 or 5 days a week, and then like I'm hot and sweaty. It's LA, right? And then I'll like just rip my shoes and my shirt off, and I'll just like wade into this swimming pool, and the sun is shining down, and I just think of all the things that I'm grateful for in that moment, in that day. And I'm like, all right, I'm grateful that like I dropped a song that like I dropped like Teasing came out. Like I dropped a song today. I'm grateful I have like managers helping me push it. I'm grateful that I have a publicist who's like setting up interviews for me. And I'm grateful that like I got like this new shirt and that like I'm going to my favorite restaurant for dinner and like just like my family and like all these little and big things. And then like once now I'm at the other side of the pool and I swim back. Okay. and then by that time I'm feeling in a good place, a place where I can grow, because I think when I don't think about what I'm grateful for, it's easy to think about what you don't have. When I'm at a place of gratitude, it actually motivates me to do better, because I'm like, I have all this stuff, like so not like I'm so grateful. How can I get more and make it, even more great things happen?
Yeah. So are these skinny dips, birthday suits? Don't answer that. We're just fine.
Too many
so
secrets.
That's the hot stuff. That's after dark.
Like, gratitude. It's like, hey,
it's a different show.
Cool. Yeah. So tell the fans where they can find you.
Yeah, I mean, at William Bolton on Instagram. Just if you search William Bolton on Google, Spotify, Apple Music, you can find all my music, everything I'm putting out. And that's
awesome.
Yeah.
So we have a question that we usually ask.
Yeah, we'll take it out.
Yeah.
Just because I'm asking the secrets.
Okay.
And now I'm going to ask you your superpower. William Bolton, what is your superpower?
I can play the guitar behind my head.
No way. No.
Come to my show in October and you'll see.
Managers, is that true?
Next question.
Okay.
When
that's
is
probably
your
what
next
signed him.
show? When are your tour dates?
Yeah.
We can find that on IG at William Bolton.
Yeah. So we're still like finishing booking and everything. I believe we just locked in October 12th at the Peppermint Club in Los Angeles. You guys are all invited. I'd love to have you out. And we're going to be throwing down, and November should be a few other dates in America as well.
Awesome.
Shout out to Jeremy Hawkins. Did he book over there? Jeremy? No? Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. He's like the booking manager over there.
Oh, cool.
One of my buddies. But yeah, Trip Digital Radio Sound Art Expression. We know a lot of people. Thanks for coming. Let's give it up for Mr. William.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Trip Digital Radio Sound Art Expression. Let's take them out. DJ Blue.